Him alone is our home. In Him alone is our strength. In Him alone are we justified. In Him alone are we saved. What have we to offer that does not fade nor wither? Can the world ever satisfy the emptiness in our heart? In vain we deny. In Him alone is our home. In Him alone is our strength. In Him alone are we justified. In Him alone are we saved.
Is running in search for all no meaning. Let His love fill the hunger in your soul till it overflows with joy you yearn to know.
In Him alone is our home. In Him alone is our strength. In Him alone are we justified. In Him alone are we saved. In Him alone is our home. In Him alone is our strength. In Him alone are we justified. In Him alone are we
Kayang magiliw, lanas ang silangagan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, tuyang ka ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bukaw, may dinatang tuna at hawig sa paglayang minamahal. Ang bisag ng wataran mo'y tanong ay narating. Ang bituin at parang niyang kailan pa ay di maghihiling. Naman ang araw ng walang ipagsinag, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our virtual orientation, Elevate 2020, Empowering Architecture for Collective Prosperity. We are your hosts. I am Christian.
And I am Lisa.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show. So, how are you doing?
Well, I am doing great, by the way. I am very much thankful that I got to spend a lot of time with my family and doing some of my own hobbies. So how about you, partner?
Same Risa, I'm also doing great right now. And at the same time, I'm a little bit nervous because this will be the first ever virtual orientation of the UFSA. So for those freshies who are not yet informed of what is UFSA, well, UFSA stands for United Architects of the Philippines Student Auxiliary. It is the only duly recognized student organization of the UAP, which stands for United Architects of the Philippines. Right, Risa?
Precisely, partner. You have said that we always plans on having an exciting us, especially our youth. Right, partner?
You are right about that, Risa. With the Team Elevate 2020, Powering Architecture for Collective Prosperity, meaning to say, we are going to aggregize as well as promote architecture amidst of this pandemic. And this will be the first step to empower our organization, our school, and of course, our very own course for the secretary. Yun. So this event will be having some important messages, introduction of faculty and staff, and some collaborative activities that will surely boost the excitement of our students. So be prepared, guys, because later on we're going to ask some questions with the help of our Vice President for Operations.
So be ready, everyone, because this event opened us to new challenges in adapting to the new normal, but still maintain the resilience to our goal to be professionals.
Precisely, partner. So we invited our very own dean and our UFSA chapter advisor to give us an opening remarks.
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the Engineering and Architecture Dean, Engineer Christine C. Bautista, together with our very own chapter advisor, Architect Julius David Badria.
A round of applause, please.
Hello everyone, to our dear faculty, ACAD.org officers, college council officers, freshmen, transferees, students, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program orientation. Every first semester, we used to have the general engineering and architecture orientation at the gym. All students and faculty are there to meet and discuss what should be expected from each other during the semester. But our circumstances won't allow us to meet physically today. Fortunately, we have the technology. So I hope to see all of you soon and meet all of you personally. Anyway, how are you coping this pandemic? So whatever your situation is, let's always keep safe and healthy to win this fight. So anyway, the office presentation is divided into three parts. First is about the EA new normal. Second is the delivery of classes this semester and some policies. And third will be the live tutorial of Blackboard care of Engineer Martinez. Now, how do we study in the new normal? So we have the UNCN way. But before that, let us make some comparison of the old and new normal. When we say old normal, this is before the pandemic, and the new normal is during the pandemic. All right? So in the old normal, we used to gather, conduct, and attend classes in the classrooms. We talk with our friends, chat with them, eat with them, walk with them along the lobby. We sit on the bench downstairs, underground, and so many activities. So it's open to gather in spaces or in public spaces. But during the new normal, we won't be coming to school for the moment. So we will study at our home. We will attend class virtually. We will be using virtual Blackboard. We will be learning at our own pace and time, at our own space. Alright? And then, in the old normal, one size fits all mode. We used to have all our gatherings. We used to have large crowd, and then we meet all our classmates all at the same time. But in the new normal, it will be an individualized, differentiated learning. You will be learning at your own comfort, at your own home. Now, how do we study the UNCN way? Number one is we should develop a good study habits starting from day one, and that is on August 17. So effective studying is quite critical, especially, admitted or not, in our college students. So many new freshmen quickly find that their prior study habits need major adjustments. To begin making the change, you need to find a quiet, organized space to study. You also need to study with a positive attitude and specific goals in mind. If you need help, there's no shame in asking. So your professors and peers are there to help you learn. Alright? It's also important to have the right mindset. You need to have the positive attitude. If you see studying as a chore, you're likely to get frustrated and burnt out. Instead of seeing studying as something you have to do, look at the positive aspects. Think of this as a way to improve your skills and abilities and get the most of your education. Now, we need to find a regular time for studying. If you study at the same time each day, your brain will be prepped for learning when you sit down. You can review your schedule and see when you have free time. You can schedule an hour or two for studying during those times each day. You can also study during gaps between classes or in the evening after your classes are done for the day. Right? So, in addition, find times when you're naturally more energetic. If you tend to get sleepy in the afternoon, do something relaxing for yourself, let's say around 2 o'clock, and then schedule study time sometime after dinner. We also need to create a dedicated study space. So we can look for a quiet space in our house or room or someplace where you can focus. So studying in the same place every day will train your brain to associate a certain environment with work. This will help you get into the zone when you start studying. So as much as possible, we find a quiet and distraction-free. Right? We also have to need to gather our needed materials. Make sure that you have everything you needed to study at your own study space. So if you're studying in a place in your home, keep your things like your books, pencils, pens, and scratch papers in that area. Next is to explore different techniques of studying. Some of us wanted to study or learn by sitting, some of us by lying on the floor, some of us by lying on the bed. So, whatever position you find comfortable in studying, so go into it. Now, for each of the week, you have to create one goal, at least one goal for each session. Your study sessions are most effective if they have some direction. However, if you are blindly studying, it can be overwhelming and you may waste time fumbling to figure out where to start. So before each study session, figure out what topics are most pressing and then you set your goals. You can also set your goals based on the days of the week. Say, focus on your math and professional courses on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And then for your general education courses like the STS, UTS, ethics, during Fridays and Saturdays. So those are just an example. And of course, we need to take breaks. one can study for hours on end without getting frustrated and burnt out, right? So, breaks help you relax, recharge, and approach a situation with new eyes. So, make a habit of studying for an hour and then making a 5-minute break to do something you enjoy, like you visit your social media or you text a friend. But you set a timer to make sure you're on task. You don't want to study for too long because that will lead to frustration. Or you don't want to take a long break because it can ruin your concentration. So, there will be some questions in the middle of the discussions. Now, you can test yourself. Or you can have memory games or mnemonic devices. So these are methods for remembering pieces of information using a simple association of common words. So most often, people string together words to form a nonsense sentence that is easy to remember. So the key to such memory devices is the new phrase or sentence you come up with. And if this don't work for you, then don't use them. All right, you can find ways on where you can fastly recall the topics that you have studied. Of course, we need to get a good night's sleep. Better still, if you can pair reviewing your notes with a good night's sleep, then you will be significantly improve your ability to retain more information. Just know that studying when you're sleepy is of course ineffective. If your body is telling you that you're tired, then have a nap or go to bed early. A good night's sleep is another technique to use that will help you understand and remember information better. Wow, this can be a sort who can be your inspiration. So we need to have a source of inspiration. It can be our classmate, a friend, a boyfriend or girlfriend, your professor, or simply your parents, your mom and dad. Just remember that all your hard work is for them. The next suggestion is to post your goal on the wall. So what are your goals? Let's say finishing the module of the week before Friday. Our big goals like I'll be an engineer or architect in 2 or 3 years from now, right? You can post it in your wall. Or some quotes like what's on the picture to keep us or to keep you motivated. Now, if you're finding that you're getting stressed out or tired, you have to reflect back on your study schedule and priorities. Make sure that you have dedicated time for rests and distressing activities as well. Mind you, studying can be stressful and it's important to address and challenge stressful thoughts. For example, don't think that I'm a mess. I'm never going to understand this. Instead, you think that I'm sure if I work a little each day, I can figure out this material. Now, we have also to connect with people whom we trust. It can be the members of the family, our teachers, our guidance counselors, fellow church members, or friends. You can consult your professors with questions. There is nothing to be embarrassed if you have questions. Remember, everyone gets confused sometimes and needs some extra help. If you have questions on a concept or subject, you can email your professors or you can lay it down during your consultation hours. So, your professors may be able to offer you some tips and tricks to better understand the material. By the way, I have asked our college guidance counselor for engineering and architecture, Mr. Paul Brian Marco. I asked his permission to share you his numbers. Okay, he has a globe, a smart numbers. He was also able to share his FB and then the email. So in case you needed someone whom you can talk whom you can share. So you can text, you can call, or you can send email Mr. Paul Brian Marco. Of course, we need to eat nutritious food. Well, as everyone always hear, eating nutritious foods makes you healthy. Study shows that it enhances mood and improve memory. A nutritious, well-balanced diet, along with physical activity and refraining from smoking, is the foundation of good health. Healthy eating includes the high-quality proteins, carbohydrates, heart-healthy fats, vitamins, and then minimizing processed foods, saturated fats, and alcohol. So eating in this manner will help you maintain your body's everyday functions and then promotes optimal body weight and can assist in the disease prevention. Now, all of us loves music, right? So music improves brain function. It can help you focus and also eases the pain. So researchers know that playing a musical instrument can switch off the stress response. So it can improve physical and emotional health. So music is popular because it has the ability to aid people in a quest to feel good. It can help you feel happy, sexy, relaxed, or if you listen to wrong kind of music at the wrong time, it can get you angry. So one of the best reasons to listen to music though is because it can relieve stress. So whether you're overworked or in need of relaxation or suffering from a relationship breakup or grief, listen to music. It can leave you a feeling of being calm and stress-free, providing you with welcome relief. Of course, who doesn't love nature? People who appreciate nature are happier, healthier, and more innovative. So the nature reduces also our stress and help us find meaning. So walking in nature strengthens our immune system and our muscles. Our minds become sharper and more inventive after spending time in nature. So relax, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, take a short walk. Now this one. Each of us should contribute our share in the household chores. So whether we like it or not, these household chores are necessary part of our life, ensuring that our homes continue to run efficiently and that our living environments remain organized and clean. So when children are involved in household chores, it will give you opportunity to become active participant in the house. It can give you sense of responsibility because learning how to carry out household chores is an important precursor to employment. Chores can serve as an opportunity for us to explore what we excel and what could possibly pursue as a job down the road later. Of course, we are lovable and fallible. So loving ourselves and being selfish are absolutely different things. Love is all about giving and receiving. And if you can give enough care, attention, and sympathy to yourself, most probably you can give it to others as well. You must have heard the truth that we cannot love others if we cannot love ourselves. Love flourishes when we give it to other people. But love always starts with me. We are the only ones responsible for our life, choices, and deeds. So we just have no right to be neglectful of ourselves. So when we love who we are, we accept of who we really we are. It gives us confidence and approval. And if you love yourself, we look better. And last but not least is pray. When problems and challenges arises in our life, we feel overwhelmed with anxiety. The Bible encourages us to pray constantly at times like this and to let our petitions be made known to God. The Bible assures us that if we turn to God in prayer, the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard our hearts and our mental powers. We can gain a measure of tranquility by pouring out our concerns to our Heavenly Father. In fact, encourage us to do so. According to Psalms 55:22, throw your burden on God Jehovah and He will sustain you. Right? So, just pray. And the last on my slide, our time is changing. We're shifting from old to the new normal. As per Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. So let's us all be adaptable to change. Thank you. Hello again, everyone. Before I discuss on the mode of delivery of the subjects for the first semester 2020-2021, let us first recall the UNC vision and mission, and of course the college own vision and mission. So the University of Nueva Cáceres, guided by its motto, Non Scholae Sed Vitae, not of school but of life, is committing itself to quality and excellent education for all. That is to transform the youth into entrepreneurial, productive, morally upright, socially responsible professionals for a just, humane, and progressive society. The UNC mission, number one, is to be the leading exponent of academic excellence, research, extension, and innovative technology for sustainable development. And two, to create a nurturing academic environment and provides equal opportunities in the formation of individuals into empowered leaders, competent professionals, and proactive entrepreneurs who are cognizant of our cultural heritage. We also have our core values. Number one, we champion excellence. So meaning, we consistently strive for excellence in everything that we do. Number two, we nurture dreams. Meaning, UNC passionately guide and inspire the students to leverage their potentials and aspire for better lives. Three, we do the right things right. So meaning we uphold integrity in everything that we do. We hold ourselves to high standards for accountability and character. Four, we are dynamic and creative. So meaning we anticipate the forces of change. We explore possibilities with extent and purpose. Five, we respect each other and work as a team. So meaning we collaboratively maximize our talents and capabilities, and we hold each other in high regard and passionately realize our shared purpose, priorities, and promises. How about our own College of Engineering and Architecture vision? So the College of Engineering and Architecture seeks to become the country's leading college in engineering and architecture. And our mission is, number one, to provide a conducive and scholarly environment to enhance students' analytical skills, critical thinking, and creativity. And number two, to develop graduates to be socially responsible, productive, and competent professionals in the country and beyond. So that's our vision and mission. Now, what are the 6 programs, active programs of the engineering and architecture? Number one, we have the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. It started since 1954. Next, we have the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering since 1973. Third is the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering since 1998. Next is the Bachelor of Science of Computer Engineering, started 2000. The fifth is the Bachelor of Science in Electronics Engineering, started 2001. And our baby program, the Bachelor of Science in Architecture, started in 2004. So those are our 6 active programs, 5 for engineering and 1 architecture. Now, why UNCEA? Number one, it's because all our curriculum is designed to be future-ready, outcome-based education. So meaning, it's not just the knowledge, but we're also preparing you for the skills needed in the future. So we have embedded certificates in some of the professional courses. Certificates like from TESDA, Cisco Academy, Coursera, LinkedIn, just to name a few certifications. Number two is digital blended learning. So initially, we're set to pilot some blended classes this semester. Unfortunately, our situations call for this year to be launched. Digital blended means we will be combining face-to-face classes with some online delivery through our learning management system. Third is we are being powered by our Mapua University partnership. So Mapua University is best known for its very good performance when it comes to engineering. And fourth, we are engaging with industry. We are currently working with people before the pandemic. I used to visit big companies aiming that right after graduation or before graduation and right after board exam, graduates will be landing a job within 90 days. Not just on a company, but on your dream companies. So prior to graduation, we're set to train you to work as part of your dream company. Right? Now, this is the OBE framework. This is our outcome-based education framework. So, this is all anchored on our UNC mission, vision, and our BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. And that is to become, and that is from first to number one. So, it's also guided by our school motto, non scolae sed vitae. And of course, the core values that we discussed earlier. So, the student outcomes, okay, in every courses or every subject that you will have your own course outcomes and the intended learning outcomes per week or per topic. We also have our graduates' institutional outcomes, and those are culturally rooted with multicultural understanding, collaborative, creative, and critical thinker, effective communicator, lifelong learner, ethically and socially responsible, great leader, and excellence-driven. And of course, we have our own program educational objectives and program outcomes. We consider also all our stakeholders. We have the internal stakeholders, the leadership team, administration, faculty, and the non-teaching and staff. And of course, our external stakeholders. These are our program advisory board, alumni, parents, industry partners, and the public. So our outcomes will be assessed periodically, and then we will improve those aspects that needs improvement and continue with our best practices. All of this will be under the care of our CQI or the Continuous Quality Improvement Team. Right? For our digital blended learning, as mentioned earlier, we will be having our learning management system. Starting this semester, we will be using our Blackboard Learn. So Blackboard Learn is best known as a very good learning management system. And it is also being used by Mapua and other schools in Manila. So this one here is the logo of the Blackboard. And this one here is the application, the Blackboard app, the Blackboard application app, where you can download you can download it using your iOS devices or the Android devices. So this is the symbol of the Blackboard Learn in iOS and Android devices, right? And then we're also proud to tell you that as of this time, we have produced 108 board top-notchers. 108 board top-notchers and counting. Right? Okay. And last year, on June 2019, we have produced, this is from June 2018 to June 2019, we have produced newly licensed engineers and architects, 156. So there is an infinity sign because we will continue to produce licensed engineers and architects in the coming time. And you will be one of those. Right? So it is also our pride to say that we consistently surpass the national passing percentage in terms of the board exam released by the Professional Regulation Commission for every board examinations. Yes. Okay. Now, for the policies, it will be available at Blackboard Learn. So when you log in on August 17, please take time to find the different policies of the College of Engineering and Architecture. But let me just take this opportunity to discuss our retention policy. All right. So this will just take 3 slides. So as part of our retention policy, students who failed in more than 6 units of engineering and architecture subjects may be allowed to enroll under probation A. And for under probation A for the succeeding semester and required to undergo remediation. Number 2, those students under probation A, take note of this, shall be allowed to enroll a maximum of 18 units on the succeeding semester. Right? 18 units on the succeeding semester. Number 3, those students under probation A who failed in any EA subjects shall be placed under probation B, and they are required to undergo remediation and will be allowed to enroll a maximum of 15 units on the succeeding semester. And if the students under probation pass all the EA subjects, they will be removed from the probation list. 5, student who failed 3 times in at least 2 of the same EA subject shall be required to shift to another program or college. So please find time again to review our retention policy, as this will be properly observed starting this semester. All right? Okay. So much for that. Let us now proceed to the delivery of classes this school year. As you can see from the ads of the University of Nueva Cáceres, we have 2 flexible learning solutions. We have the FlexiTech and then we have the FlexiKit. For College of Engineering and Architecture, we combine these 2. By the way, all our engineering and architecture students are required to use the LMS or the Blackboard Learn. All of you will be given an account to Blackboard in the coming days. Alright? So, what's in our flexible learning solution? Number 1 is a flexible tech-driven modality. So, again, the LMS, by the way, the Blackboard Learn, you can access that through your computer, through your laptop or personal computer. You can also access it through your tablet or any smartphone. Okay, you can pre-download the lessons and study it at a later time. All right. So, FlexiTech will also have an interactive learning sessions through the online platforms. Later, we will discuss this one. You also have a scheduled consultation with your teachers. And as mentioned, we will use Blackboard as a learning management system. Now, for any student who doesn't have any means of technology, please let us know. Reach out to EA office so that we can arrange the FlexiKit for you. We will be requesting you to do it as soon as possible. All right? Okay. Now take note of our schedule for this semester. We are dividing our semester into two clusters. So cluster 1 will be from August 17, 2020 to October 26, 2020. And cluster 2 will be from October 26, 2020 to January 12, 2021. Cluster 1 will have 9 weeks and cluster 2 will have also another 9 weeks. So a total of 18 weeks because in a regular semester, we have an 18 weeks. Alright? So each week, we will be calling each week as week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. So week 1 will start August 17 to 23. Week 2 will be August 24 to 30. Week 3, August 31 to September 6. Week 4, September 7 to September 13. And then we will have our Peña Francia break. And then week 5 will be our midterm week. So that will be on September 21 to September 27. Week 6, September 28, October 4. Week 7, week 8, and week 9 will be our final week, which will be on October 19 to October 25. So, October 25 will be the last day for our cluster 1. And then immediately after that, will follow the cluster 2. So, we will start our cluster 2 by week 10. So, we will call it week 10. So, that will be on October 26 to November 1. And then week 11, November 2 to November 8. And then our midterm will be on week 14. So that's November 22 to November 29. And the week 18 will be our final week. Okay? So, more details of that will be explained later. But take note of the dates. Right? Now for cluster 1, we will be delivering it as purely online. So pure online, no face-to-face. Our virtual classroom will be the Blackboard Learn. Alright? And then the synchronous activity will either be Zoom, alright? And the Google Meet, Google Hangout, or other platform. So I hope everyone is familiar on how to use Zoom or Google Meet. So these two platforms, in case you will be using this one, you will be receiving an invite. And then you just have to click the link to join the meeting. So when you say synchronous activity, it doesn't mean that you will be conducting a lecture. It can be part of your consultation with your teachers. Okay, how about cluster B? Cluster B is planned to be offered blended, but as you can see, we have asterisk there because we are weighing down the situations, our current situation. So if IATF, the DOH, the LGU, or other governing body allows us to have a face-to-face and that the travel is safe already, then we will go blended. But even if we go blended, we will still be using Blackboard as our virtual classroom when we are not at UNC. And then the same, some synchronous activity can be via the Zoom, Google Meet, and of course, if we're allowed to go to school, UNC will be part of our synchronous activity. Now, more information of this one, if we'll be going blended or if you will be going to UNC, it will be announcement will be made later. Again, this is depending on the situation. If those mentioned governing authorities will allow us face-to-face, and if they say that it is now safe. All right, what's included in the module? So your module should have the course details where you can see your course title, the number of units, the prerequisites, textbook, references, and other informations like the guidelines on the quizzes and on the examinations. It will also include the grading system. So please take note of the grading system. It should be part of your module. Next, it will have the course outline. So the course outline will have the topic per week. So week 1, week 2, week 3 topics. It will also have the learning outcomes for that week. the learning activities, and of course the type of assessment that you will be expecting at each week. Right? The module also included, oh, by the way, this how your week 1 will appear. So it will have a short introduction, and then it will have the objective of the course or the objective of the week's topic and the start of the discussion for that week. It can also have some key questions in the middle for you to stop, think on how you understand the discussion, and then you can try answering the questions just to weigh your understanding of the topic. It will also have the learning activity. So each module, each week, will have a learning activity. So just follow the instructions on each of the learning activity. The module will also have after the learning activity will now be the second week and so on. So the same presentation is expected for week 2, week 3, and so on. Right? And the last one, you should also be expecting a syllabus, a course syllabus for that particular subject. So all of this will be available through the LMS, through the Blackboard. So the next one, by the way, you can take screenshots of this because this is the division of the topics or of the subjects in the cluster, in each of the program. So this is for architecture. So the left side will be for the first cluster and the second side will be the second cluster. So when we say first cluster, this will be from August 17 to October 25. And the second cluster will be from October 26 to January 12, 2020. So meaning, when we say cluster 1, you are going to finish all the subjects in cluster 1 within those dates. Let me repeat. Cluster 1 is August 17 to October 26. So in this case, let's say for architecture first year, you will have your theory, they will have their theory of architecture 1, mathematics in the modern world, mathematics for architects, science, technology, and society, the understanding the self, and the SOC arts. All of these subjects should be finished by August 25. So that by October 26, they will start the second cluster subject, and that would be Design 1, Graphics 1, Virtual Techniques 1, Solid Mensuration, NSTP, and then the Physical Education or the PE. As you can see, I have some gray color here because some of the PE will be offered in first cluster, some will be in the second cluster. So depending on the codes, I will be posting those codes later. So just watch out for it. So this next cluster will be for the civil engineering. All right. And the next one will be for the computer engineering. So again, this is from first year to third year. Next is for the electrical engineering. So this is the clustering of the subjects for the electrical engineering. And of course, for the electronics engineering. So this is how your subjects are clustered this semester. And for mechanical engineering, these are also the clustered subjects. So, by the way, we have some requested subjects. So, subjects like the engineering data analysis, advanced engineering, mathematics, and physics for engineers, it will be offered in cluster 1. So, that's from August 17 to October 25. And then the engineering economy and calculus 2 will be offered on the second cluster. That's October 25 to January 12. Don't worry, this one will be posted on each of the on your ACAD.org page and on the page of the College Council. Now, let's take note of this one. For a regular semester, so meaning there's no pandemic, so in regular semester, the 3 units lecture is equivalent to 3 hours per week. Alright? And then for a 1-unit lab, it will be 3 hours per week. But since we cluster during this pandemic, we cluster our subjects into cluster 1 and cluster 2, the 3 units lecture will now be equivalent to 6 hours per week, and the 1-unit laboratory will be 6 hours per week. So the hours per week is doubled because we shorten the number of weeks. So instead of 18, we'll just be meeting 9 weeks for each of the subject. Now, how are you going to do that? Okay, let me use this example. This is an actual subject of a first year engineering. All right. So based from our clustering of subject for engineering courses, the subjects mathematics for engineers, right? Mathematics in the modern world, STS, UTS, and social arts is offered in the first cluster. And these are in the red boxes. I tried to plot all the schedules in the red boxes. So UTS is 9:30 to 11, Monday, Thursday. MMW lecture is Tuesday, 8 to 10. And the laboratory is 11 to 2 every Wednesday. STS is 3:30 to 5, Monday, Thursday. And then Mathematics for Engineers lecture is from 5:30 to 7:30, Monday, Thursday. Social Arts is 6 to 8 every Tuesday. And the Laboratory for Mathematics for Engineers is 2 to 5 every Friday. Alright? Now, as mentioned in the previous video, that you should set and schedule. And as mentioned also a while ago, that during the clustered subject, all of your classes will be multiplied into 2. Alright? So these are just some suggested schedule. You can do your own. Alright? So again, this is just suggested. So I have added here on top this one in the blue. So you have 8 to 9:30. This can be part of your UTS classes. By the way, this in the boxes, the one that labeled, this will be your consultation time for your teacher, and this can be the synchronous activity for your classes. Meaning, your faculty, your teachers will be available online on these times. Those without letters will be your remote learning, meaning these are your schedule at your own time. So, at your homes. So, you can create another schedule just to double the schedule so that we will be able to finish the required 54 hours per week. So, take note, in one 3-unit subject, the needed hours to complete the subject is 54 hours. Okay? So, as suggested, this can be some of these, this can be your MMW. You can have it 8 to 10, or if you want, you can have it here 10 to 2 p.m. So, it's up to you on how you make your own schedule. But please follow our suggestion that sketch your own suggestion and follow it diligently, please. Alright? So you need to have a 54 hours per subject from week 1 to week 9. Alright? Okay. Now for consultation times or consultation hours, as mentioned, it will be the same day and the same time on your matriculation form. Right? Consultation time, consultation hours, and synchronous activity for that subject. Your quizzes and other assessments, okay, this can be weekly via Blackboard or scheduled by your professors. So, quizzes and other assessments. On how to submit, where and when to submit your compliance. So, all the submissions will be via Blackboard. So, students may take a clear photo or scan your answers, solutions, drawing, plates or designs on the date indicated for submissions by your teachers on the blackboard. You may also submit in doc file, PDF, or other form as required by your teacher. But it is clear that all submission will be via Blackboard, especially on the first cluster. On the second cluster, we will just announce again if face-to-face is allowed already. Okay, now instead of having 4 major examinations, we will just have 2 major examinations, and that will be midterm and final exam. So for cluster 1, as mentioned a while ago, midterm will be 5th week, final will be on the 9th week, and for the second cluster, midterm exam is on the 14th week, and the final exam is on the 18th week. Now, what to do before this exam schedule? Okay, number 1 is, of course, you need to secure your exam permit. So by this time, it can be an electronic permit, right? So you need to secure your exam permit. Number 2 is you look for a quiet place and a stable internet connection. You prepare your calculator, paper, pen, and other materials needed for your exams. You also have to clean your desk or your table. Now, there will be 2 types of exams that can be given. It can be a synchronous exam and it can be a synchronous exam. So, during a synchronous exam is also time limited. It will be available only at a specific date and time. You will be given 1 attempt only. The exam will be given through the blackboard, and there should be no other person in the room throughout the exam session. How about for synchronous exam? The same, exam is limited, but you will be asked to turn on or open your camera while exam is ongoing. And of course, you have to wear decent clothes. There should be no other person in the room throughout the exam session, and your attention may be called for unnecessary activities while exam is ongoing. There should be an adequate light in the room, but no direct light towards the web camera. By the way, it is your teacher who will give the decision whether the exam will be asynchronous or synchronous exam, right? Now, for those who were not able to take exam on the schedule, what should you do? Number 1, you have to secure electronic excuse letter like what we used to do before the pandemic, but this time it will be an electronic excuse letter, and you're going to secure it through seya@unc.edu.ph. Yes, you're going to mail your excuse letter to secure the electronic excuse letter. Once approved, the dean will send a copy of the approved excuse letter to the faculty concerned, and of course, the student will be copy furnished, including the program head. And then it is now the faculty that will schedule the day and time for your special exam. Alright? Okay. Now, part of our preparations is what we call as the red kindler. So the following subjects will have the red kindler. So it's like it's like a diary, a journal, so that your student experience will continue. So you're studying at home. So the following subjects will be requiring you to have your red kindler. It's free, don't worry. All right. So these are the subjects. Okay. Now, what are our student value adds, or what we call as SVAs? So as mentioned a while ago, we have the MQuap, the multi-qualifications programs. So some of you were able to receive free license. Some of our first year students receive free license from Coursera, but it's just valid until September. So make the most of it. But for our engineering courses, we have one with Coursera license, and that is the Technopreneurship. Next semester, it will now be the architecture students who will be having a Coursera course. We are also working with our TESTA partnership to have our TESTA certifications. We have the Cisco Academy. Some of the courses will be having some courses for Cisco by next semester, second semester. Some of you will be having LinkedIn, so certificates. Some also, most of you will have, it's second semester, the safety officer certificates, and of course the PRC licenses. You can have, for electrical engineering, you can have the registered master electricians. For electronics engineering, you can have the electronics technician, and so on. All right. So again, as mentioned, the subject with embedded Coursera certificate is the technopreneurship, right? For the LinkedIn, these are the subjects that are required to have their certificates from LinkedIn. So for architecture, design 5, professional practice 1, design 9, and housing. For civil engineering, CMT, elective 1, practicum, and elective 4. For electrical engineering, OJT, and illumination and engineering design. And for mechanical engineering, elective 3, refrigeration systems. For the rest of the program, next semester, you will have your LinkedIn courses. Next, we have the EIE, or the English Language Environment. So it's a policy signed by the President under Memo number 12, series of 2019. So we will be having our own monthly and quarterly activities. This time, I'm not sure if we will be maintaining the same year level coordinator. By the way, we will be adding the first year level coordinator because, and then second year, third year, and then fifth year coordinator. For those of you um, for those of you who are challenged in speaking in English, don't worry, because we have the MLIC, the multilingual intervention, where you can speak in Tagalog or Bicol, but afterwards we have to translate it in English. So as a reminder, we do not look for mistakes, but we use mistake as our stepping stone in improving and speaking the language. By the way, the four here are our last monthly champion before the pandemic. They are our EIE champion during the month of February. Congratulations to the four of you. Okay. Part of our SVAs is the BEP, the Board Exam Preparation Program. So this is also aligned with the three correlation courses for civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer engineering. And then the architecture is the Architecture Comprehensive Course, or the ACC. So more details of this will be discussed on a separate orientation. We also have the PEP, as mentioned a while ago. So for engineering, we call this one as EPEP. So it's Engineering Employment Program. And for architecture is APEP, Architecture Professional Employment Program. Again, details will be discussed on a separate discussion. Orientation, by the way. We also have CARS. This is a computer-assisted review system. So CARS is a multiple choice type questions. Now, currently, the computers are located at EN214. Right now, CARS is available for graduating students who will be taking the correlation courses by next semester. EA buzzers are for students who will be representing our school for contest, but everyone is encouraged to join. And also, we have the EA Math tutorial classes. This is open to any students. Volunteers are also encouraged. And then the tutorial will cover all the mathematics subjects. Now, as the last slide, so let me remind you that our classes will start on August 17, 2020. So this is the end of my presentation. But before that, let me copy President Faye's words. Our plans may not be perfect yet, but can be perfected in due time. We are flexible to what possible changes may occur. So, as mentioned, the IATF, the other regulatory bodies are making updates every 2 weeks. So, rest assured that whatever changes we may have in the coming days, it will be laid down to you ASAP. So, if you have clarifications or questions, you can raise your hand or chat in the chat box and we will answer after the Blackboard tutorial. So, thank you and have a wonderful time.